Hello, this is Plant-Based Azalea Healer from the Hood, and I just really wanted to talk about how some of the obstacles going through being a healer in the Hood from Oakland, California, and starting the Holistic Center, seeing the needs of the community and really meeting those needs were very hard because number one, I had my own personal life going on. I had 3 children. The mortgage there was $10,000 a month plus all the utilities. And then at the time, I had a young marriage where I had been married, I think, 15 years or more, and it wasn't going too well. And so I was dealing with the challenges of that financially. And then I had to hustle. And most of the clients that you spend with, especially cancer clients, most that I got that the doctors gave up on, I had a 75% success rate. And we dealt with emotions, mental illness. I had other doctors come in, had other therapists come in, colonic people, acupuncturists, different people come in. We had community meetings, but those are all cost. And what I found is most people said become a nonprofit, but for some reason I would not become a nonprofit, and now I know why. Because nonprofits, you don't own them. You put all this energy into them, and if you get a board that becomes jealous, doesn't like you, they can kick you off. And that's what happened to Steve Jobs. So I found out studying law made me study law. And in learning about law, a 508 ministry is what you really want to do and put yourself under a trust. But everything costs money. Because a 508 ministry, you own it, and then you can, still act in that way. But what I found is for the Black community that most of the places that you got grants from and things like that, they weren't really serving the needs to me the way I wanted to holistically help the community and go back to our ecclesiastical roots. So that meant I had to hustle, and that's where I went ahead and went door to door flipping homes, with my children, knocking on the door. They were in the stroller, and then coming back, working 15 hours, 10 hours a day. So it was very, very difficult. Then you have the jealousies. You have people that are jealous. It happens. I know you wouldn't think that. You don't, as a Black woman, really have the support. You have men who rooting you on, but financial support is what I didn't have. I didn't really have the financial support. And it's very difficult seeing, your white counterparts come in. They've been there 6 months or a year, and then they get $10-20 million because of the color of their skin, and you've been there all your life and you can't get $1. And if you do, you have to compromise. And that's not something I was willing to do. I was not willing to sell my community out. A lot of people did for the money. So there was a lot of obstacles. Then you got the biggest, hardest obstacle for me, but it isn't anymore, was slander. Then you got the slander. You get some people that you really help, and those are the ones that throw you under the bus. I have everybody put everything in writing that I'm not a physician, and then they put you on the news saying that you were a physician, and then give you death threats. So, and then when that happens after you've helped 4,500 people or more, and you sacrifice your time for 28 years, when that happens, then you got 5 people coming back to support you, you see? So that's why it's so important being a healer from the hood. The main person that I relied on was God. I'm going to tell you straight out. I pray about everything. I pray about every step. And does he allow us to go through persecution? Yes, he allowed Job to go through persecution. That's why that story is there. He allowed Jesus, his own son, to die. Think about it. The apostles went ahead and he taught them, and I'm nowhere claiming myself to be Jesus. Please let me make that clear. But I'm seeing those examples to show if they went through it, we are going to go through it. He's going to allow us to go through tests. And here he was teaching them, doing everything, the Son of God. And yet when they came to put him in jail, his apostles ran away like cowards. And yet he still showed them love. Now that's amazing. Because when that time came and all those people that I helped and sacrificed and used my own money, mainly only 10% was stars and wealthy people. The rest were people who could not afford care. I want to make that clear. A lot of them I did free, or a lot of them I did a sliding scale, serious discount. And so that affected me financially, right? So I could have been a millionaire a million times over, but sacrificing that to help the people is what I did. So unlike what the stories or the slanders that you've heard or that are there, they're not true. And always listen to two sides of the story. If you haven't heard the other side, you don't know the story, because people can make things, or the news can make things seem what it's not. They have AI now. They can take different things and make it look like you're doing things or saying things that you're not saying. So people are quick to believe that. It means to be lied to. And so those are some of the obstacles that I came up with doing, working in Oakland, California. You're dealing with the emotional and mental problems of the community. You're dealing with the economic problems. You're dealing with the environmental problems. We had to fight environmental wars. People's hair was falling out. We had to do a signage to stop the diesels. I had everybody sign to stop the diesels from coming in our neighborhood. And then dealing with my own family and my children and making sure they were taken care of. Dealing with the bills, finances. It was a lot for 28 years. And that's the reason why I'm telling this story, so that maybe someone else can be helped who, I feel like we've been given gifts of men and women who has that gift, and they can make it a little bit lighter on them. Okay, but this is part 14. I will continue on. This is Plant-Based Azalea, Healer from the Hood. My book will be coming out in 2025. And I have copies around the world in case one gets lost. All right, so take care, you guys. Bye-bye.